Welcome to the Lynn Lineup, a program which focuses on events happening right here and around the city of Lynn. Here with me today from the CABL Baseball League, that's the Commonwealth Amateur Baseball League, we have Mike Carpentier. He's the president of the league, and we're here today to talk about the second annual CABL Classic to benefit Coaches vs. Cancer. This is an event that they did last year. They raised over $3,000, and they're planning on doing it again this year. We're going to get into the event more in detail, but first and foremost, let's give Mike an opportunity to explain who he is and how he's involved. Mike?
Hi. Thanks for having me. Good to be back. Like you said, I'm the president commissioner of the Commonwealth Amateur Baseball League. We've been around. We just finished our second season in existence. We grew out of a league that's now defunct, and we had a great opportunity to do this tournament last year. It was a big success, and we're glad to give back and do it again this year.
And you picked a good organization to team up with, Coaches vs. Cancer. Let's talk a little bit more about that, what they are and how they function.
Yeah, so I think most people are probably familiar with them from the Coaches vs. Cancer kickoff tournament from the NCAA basketball. It was a organization it started as a collaboration between the National Association of Basketball Coaches and the American Cancer Society. So it's the American Cancer Society and their efforts against cancer that are the true beneficiaries. But they reached out to us early last year, asked if we would maybe be interested in doing some sort of fundraiser. We responded and said, how about we do a baseball tournament? And they said, sure, that sounds great. So we kind of flew by the seat of our pants last year and got it together and raised some good money, and ready to do it again, do it better this year.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about how the event will differ from last year. Last year, where was it held?
So last year was held at Twi Field, which is in Danvers, and also at World Series Park in Saugus. It was a two-day tournament, just Saturday and Sunday. We had hoped to get 8 teams. We ended up with 7, which was pretty good for our first year. This year we expanded that to 10.
So 10, from 7 teams to 10.
Yep.
Now some of these parks have changed as well.
Right, we're still using Twi, and we're still using World Series. But in addition to that, because we added a 10th team, or 10 teams, in order to fit everyone in, we also have added now 2 Friday night games. And one of those Friday night games is again at Twi, but the other Friday night game will be at Morelli Field in Melrose, which is a beautiful field, and we're happy to have it as part of the tournament.
All right, great. So if you're just joining us, we're talking about the second annual CABL Classic to benefit Coaches vs. Cancer. This is set to kick off Friday, September 30th, and the tournament will continue all the way to 4 p.m. On Sunday, October 2nd for the championship game. So we've got 3 separate dates. Friday, September 30th. You've got 2 games going on those dates. Yep. One's at Morelli Field in Melrose, the other one's at Twi Field in Danvers. The time those games start?
The Twi game is a 7:45 start, and the Morelli game will be an 8 o'clock start. The way that we're doing it as well, which I think is neat, is we're seeding the teams 1 through 10 based on how much money they raise.
Great.
Every team is guaranteed at least 2 games, but you have to win to continue on with a chance to win the championship. So even if you lose on Friday night, you're still going to get a second game. But you get to skip Friday night if you're one of the top 6 fundraising teams, and you go right into Saturday. So that's sort of another thing to spur teams into raising as much as they can.
Yeah, a little initiative. So that brings us into Saturday's game. That's the 1st of October. And what park is this game going to be held at?
Both at World Series and also at, which is in Saugus, and also at Twi. Basically games going all day from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. At World Series, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. at Twi.
Now the championship game set to start 4 p.m. and this is on the 2nd of October on Sunday. Where can we expect to see this game?
That will also be at World Series, and 1 o'clock. So before that will be the consolation game, also World Series. And there will also be some games at Twi those would be games to get second or third games in for teams who didn't advance to the finals.
All right. So this year you've grown your teams from 7 to 10. Last year you raised over $3,000. We talked a little bit before the program. You've got about $2,500 already raised, so you're really well set to hit your goal from last year. But you also mentioned that you're planning on growing this thing too. Let's talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah. So because we got such a good response, we raised the call for what teams who want to participate should raise a little bit this year, and also increase the number of teams. So we've sort of set this year's floor at what last year raised. So we're on pace right now to beat that. I'd really like $5,000. That'd be great. I think 4 is probably very doable. We get a lot of donations given at the tournament by people who come and watch, including our umpires, who I'm going to post all the umpires' names on our website when I have everyone who's doing a game. But our umpires have donated their time to help, make sure that all the money and 100% of everything that's donated goes to the American Cancer Society.
Outstanding. So for those at home, that game, these games are set to kick off Friday, September 30th at Twi Field in Danvers and in Melrose. At Morelli Field. And then on Saturday, October 2nd, more baseball will be continuing over at World Series Park in Saugus, and then also Twi in Danvers. And then you've also got the Sunday consolation ship game starting at 1 p.m. and the championship starting at 4 p.m. And those games will be held where?
At World Series.
At World Series Park in Saugus, Massachusetts. So you can always jump on to the website. You can call these guys at the information at the bottom of your screen. We are here talking about the second annual CABL Classic baseball game to benefit coaches versus cancer, an organization working to stem a cancer problem through fun activities like baseball and other competition games. So I want to say thank you to my guest, Mike Carpentier, president of CABL Baseball League. That's it for the Lynn Lineup from the program here at LCTV. I'm Sean Donahue, wishing you all the best.